Early afternoon, everybody. Give you guys all a chance to log on. We're doing park battles, and we have 0 viewers. What is going on today?
Probably someone bad.
Maybe people actually work today.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
might.
we got one.
Well, we got 1 viewer.
We got one.
On Facebook too.
It's secretly me. Just kidding.
Nah, it's probably Annika.
No, she's on the phone.
Oh. Watching.
All right, we'll give it a chance.
Well, I just now got the notification.
Oh my god. Well, we're doing park battles today, and we're going to give everybody a couple minutes to log on here. What?
Get your coffee, cause here you go.
Just watching on my phone. Here.
Josh Mathis is watching right now.
Welcome. We have 2 on now. 4. All right. We've been on here for about a minute. I think everybody's used to us doing those intros that are like 3 minutes long. We decided to do something different today. So I'm going to bring it back to the original next week on our show. So today we're talking about. Hold on, let me move her over here.
Oh, we went down one. Now we're on 3.
2. It's just me and Josh.
No, there's 3.
Oh, well, mine says 2. So the third must be on YouTube.
Well, yeah. We have 3 different formats.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Welcome. We don't have a lot of people on our show today, but we're going to be talking about Kings Island versus Six Flags Great America, bringing up the polls today. This is a park battle for roller coaster therapy. Welcome. I am doing something a little differently, so I'm not going to give YouTube a chance to publish this. I've been waiting 26 hours for yesterday's video to publish onto YouTube. So after we're done with this show, I'm going to download it and then re-upload it because it'll be a lot faster so you guys could view it later.
No, I don't know. I went yesterday, trying to go to work, couldn't go to work because nothing was plowed, so.
They called us off.
I'm about to call off this show and do it at 8 o'clock tonight because this is ridiculous. Like, usually we have like 13, 14 people at the minimum. We'll just go about our show and then we'll just publish it later. It'll get more views later, so. All right, we got 4 now. All right, welcome everybody. This is Park Battles Roller Coaster. This is Park Battles Roller Coaster Therapy. We have 5 live viewers, and this will be published on YouTube and also on podcast format later on today after the show. So if you don't catch the beginning of the show, we just started 4 minutes into the show. We're talking about 2 parks today. Last week was Indiana Beach versus Kentucky Kingdom. Today is Kings Island versus Six Flags Great America. We have Zach and Jacob joining us from our team today. How much snow did you guys get?
7 to 9. I don't know. I stopped counting. All I know is my dogs love it.
So not as bad as they were originally projecting then?
I don't know.
All I know is that yesterday I tried to go to work, but I couldn't go to work because I couldn't get the hill.
Some places actually probably got 10. Oh, see, Joe Hartman got 18 inches.
Welcome to our 1 Twitch viewer, too.
Hooray,
Awesome.
Twitch. I like Twitch.
This is a different schedule because all of us actually are home in the afternoon. Next week, it'll be back to our regular scheduled time of 8 p.m. Eastern. So we might have surprised some people, but I posted this early enough where people should have been notified last night of this new time.
People are still probably working today.
A lot of jobs got called off because of the snow, but
yeah,
she didn't.
Well, those warehouses hate their workers, so
yeah, she just said no. I'm sorry, but wrecking her car is not worth it.
Nah, it's just too low to the ground, so you're gonna have issues with that. But from our polls, it looks like Kings Island's obviously leading over Six Flags Great America, except for our Twitter poll, and Six Flags Great America is actually winning that poll. But if we look at the overall votes, obviously Kings Island, according to you guys, is better than Six Flags Great America. But we are dividing this into multiple categories like we did last week on our show. So we're going to start up first, obviously, by talking about the entrance, like last week. So when you go into Six Flags Great America, right away you're greeted by a double carousel, which you don't find many of these double carousels in the world, except for Six Flags Great America, from what I understand, in Gurnee, Illinois, and also the old Six Flags.
California's Great
Also,
America.
California's Great America has one as well. Back in the 70s, these two parks were owned by Marriott, which obviously is a hotel group. They decided to get into the amusement park business. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Zach, but I think Six Flags Great America opened in 1976, right?
Let me see here.
And then Kings Island, we have a 1/3 replica of the Eiffel Tower. And we'll bring up some photos here in a little bit. Many of you guys already know what each park looks like, so we don't really have to showcase all that.
Yes, you are correct. 1976.
So 1976, both California's Great America and Marriott's Great America both opened. Actually, they were both called the same. But yeah, I think it's a beautiful presence point. What I like about both entrances is that you're greeted right away. However, this is my opinion. Kings Island needs a complete revamp of their front entrance, and so does Six Flags Great America, because the ticketing kiosks are both outdated at both parks.
Yes, you are.
Yes, but my opinion, I know this is not going to be surprised. Well, this will be surprising, but I like the double carousel better than the Eiffel Tower by far.
I think I'm actually agree on that.
What do you guys do you guys like the old fountains at Kings Island or the new fountains?
New ones.
Yeah, new ones.
Yeah, the new ones do shoot a little higher in the air.
Yeah, new ones. They have updated lights in it too. And actually, I just really like the whole new thing they did to Apple Street, and it was way better now with the new lights and the new fountains. So
I think the International Street does look better, however. But other than that, yeah, I would agree that the carousel does look better than the Eiffel Tower.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I've been there. Which one, Brian Cunningham?
The only, well, I'm not gonna lie. The only thing I really like about the Great America entrance is the double carousel and walking in to see Bugs Bunny. But you know,
yeah. Although I will admit, though, the Eiffel Tower at Kings Island, to go into Disney terms, is a great weenie because it is easy to find anywhere in the park. Like here, me at the Eiffel Tower, that is really, really easy to find.
Yeah, we know, like, after obviously Disney opened Disneyland, a lot of parks went to the method of having like a center point. And Eiffel Tower is kind of like what Disney is, it's kind of the center point of the whole park.
Yeah, easy to find as well.
The carousel,
a weenie.
The carousel, however, over Six Flags Great America, not so much because of the way the park's laid out, but you can't really see the carousel. It's largely Eiffel Tower. So.
Yeah, but it's just the beauty of the carousel, the magnificence of it. I mean, the history of the carousel itself. I mean, but that's it. That's all that's good about the Six Flags entrance.
But on that too, but also kind of like what they do with the water fountains during a Halloween and a Nintendo event.
They need to update their water fountain.
Yeah, they do, but good luck on that with Six Flags.
I know, but my favorite thing on it about International Street is definitely the lighting package that they did. I enjoy all. I
definitely agree with that. What about appearance? If we go, We're
Kings
skipping
Island.
ahead to the next category, which is appearance. Yeah, we got to give that to Kings Island because the amount of bricks that had to be laid just to give it. Well, the amount of bricks that had to be laid just to give it that look is crazy, and that costs definitely a lot of money.
Yeah, I kind of on Kings Island varies up to the pathway stuff. Like one area is bricks, another area is blacktop.
If you go to old school Six Flags Great America, it was nicer, but we're talking about modern. And I talked about this yesterday in the show, but the way Six Flags is pushing for those cheap season passes, they're just inviting. I'm having a lot of glitches here. I'm having a lot of glitches here, guys.
That's like $50 at St. Louis. This really brings in some bad crowds.
Well, they're just it's just it's a method they're doing. It works. It gets them money. It works. But appearance, we all agree that it goes to Kings Island. My big thing about the appearance on both parks is that Kings Island seems to always also be cleaner in their appearance. Everything always looks to be kept up to date, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I agree on that.
If something's broke, they go and fix it rather than just putting a trash can in front of it.
And then International Street seems to be a good center point. I want to go to Kings Dominion really bad because I know we're talking about these two parks, but Kings Dominion has tons of trees, and I feel like it's going to offer a different experience.
It's so amazing.
It looks awesome.
It's going to throw me off like it throws everybody off. It's been at Kings Island.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only seen it at nighttime, but it's awesome.
You know, what's funny is when you look at it, both, I think, obviously Kings Island opened in 72 and the other one opened, 75? Kings Dominion was 75, right? But what's funny about it is that it's kind of like what Marriott did. And who's the original owner of Kings Island? What was the name?
That was on Tapped.
Yeah,
what was it?
75.
Yeah, Tapped on Broadcasting, the ones that own Coney Island.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thanks for your comment, Josh. Let's see who we have. Oh, cool. So we got a live viewer on Twitch. Thanks for joining us. Share it on Twitch so we can get more viewers. We're trying.
Yeah, Sharon is Karen.
Yeah.
Also, if you're watching on YouTube, we have Super Chat. If you wanted to help support the channel, that's another way to support us. Also, go to our main Facebook page. We have a link to our store. Go to our store. All shirts right now are only $15, so you can't beat that deal. Let's see here. I was trying to promote that today, but anyways, yeah, I think the appearance is definitely. I think if you look at the original design of both parks, though, if they would have kept both good owners, you said Taft Broadcasting, right?
Yes.
Okay, it came through kind of weird on my end. All right. So we'll give that category to Kings Island, obviously. Operations, that's an easy one right there.
Kings Island, definitely.
Six Flags Great America, depending on the day you go, sometimes has great operations, sometimes has shitty operations. However, Kings Island, boom, 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 boom. You're not going to have issues with that.
The only rides I've ever experienced bad operations on at Six Flags is Goliath and the Wing Coaster.
Yeah, we talked about that the one show, remember, with Goliath. If they would just have somebody with that test seat and deny people that couldn't fit in that test seat, you wouldn't have any issues with it.
Yeah, that's for me on Kings Island is I have issues with Drop Tower because Drop Tower always seems to me to have the longest load time. Because you get someone in, you don't think it's. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, yeah, but how does it have a long? I mean, it holds 50 people at a time. You think it would be fast? Boom.
Drop Tower or
William?
No, huh?
William, yep.
Yep, delirium.
Yeah, although William,
So
I don't know to add much. I really noticed it at Drop Tower.
Also, to add to this show, I know we have kind of like this friendly war going on between Coasters and Brews and Drunk Riders. I'm actually going to share their live broadcast on Thursday on our channel because they do have a good show. We mess with them a lot. But I just wanted to throw that out there before I forgot because I forgot to cover that at the beginning of this show. Also, I know we're talking about Park Wars. Let me go back whenever my signal goes back in. All right, my signal's back in now. So before we continue, guys, I just wanted to tell everybody Icebreaker is operating on 2 trains now. So we're going to go back to the news. Sorry, I keep on leaving it out at the beginning of our podcast. So Icebreaker is testing 2 trains. Pantheon is testing 1 train at this current time. They're kind of testing the LSM launches to make sure they're all working correctly. As soon as they figure out if they are and they get that turntable working right, they're going to start testing Pantheon. Iron Gwazi still is not testing again, so we don't know about that. So yeah. Anyways, let's go back.
With operations, like you said, I agree. Kings Island is just always boom, boom, boom. Those guys are rushing, checking up and down, thumbs up.
Well,
they're looking at each other. Station one more time, just trains out the.
Here's the thing. Every time I visited Kings Island, which was like 5-6 times during the season, Orion, they didn't even have to hand out any access passes towards the end because they got it down to a pat. They were sending a train every 50 seconds. Every 50 seconds, a train was hitting that lift hill, which means
they should.
Yeah. Well, I know, but it was even with them having to social distance the trains like they did, which technically every row was covered. It was just whatever. But
they should have been able to bring well, I know this is not how it works, but in a perfect world, if this is how it worked, they should have been able to bring the Diamondback crew and move them from point A to point B, and they should have been able to do that on point from the start of the season.
Yeah, their crew, I think, was the one operating Orion this season, to be honest. Right. I heard the fastest crew from the prior season, if they want to come back, they operate the new coasters usually. At least that's what we were told. However, Six Flags Great America on Raging Bull is fine. So I think the clamshell restraints, obviously.
Imagine, though, if Raging Bull had seatbelts.
Oh, yeah, that slowed down.
Do you know how much that would slow it down?
By a whole minute.
Hey, Ohio, if you're listening, enough of the stupid regulations. Get rid of the seatbelts on those coasters. It ruins the airtime. Luckily, if you sit in the back row on Diamondback, the seatbelt's so loose it doesn't serve a purpose anyway.
Yeah.
It does serve a purpose. It's there to keep you in case the first one fails.
Which I don't think ever it does fail. I think the latch might go up 1, but I think those stories of people saying it completely unloosens all the way, I don't believe those stories.
Yeah, me neither.
You know how people exaggerate in the public sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
I was holding on for dear life.
Anyways, back to on topic here, gentlemen. On topic.
Said the one who got off record quite a bit, so.
I know, but we did this too early, and I got things to do today, unfortunately. I gotta be an adult.
Our shows usually average an hour and a half, 2 hours, so we got plenty of time. But go ahead.
I have to be at PT at 4.
4?
Yeah, 4.
2 plus 2 is 4.
Oh, you couldn't
2 plus 2 is 22.
You couldn't see my pinky. Anyways, so we gave Kings Island operations.
Oh man, he's trying to speed through this one. This one's easily a 2-hour show. We're at the easy part of the show.
Oh buddy. No, I'm waiting to get to the good one. Here we go.
Got to go with We got to go with commercials, and I don't know. I haven't seen any commercials in these two, but if you want to go to classic commercials, I got to give it to Six Flags with the one dude. So
yeah.
Yep, Six Flags commercials all the way.
Mascot. We're gonna skip over this one because I think both parks are a little too plain on commercials now. Mascots. I got to give it to Six Flags over Kings Island. I'm sorry, Peanuts is boring to me. Peanuts, you got Charlie Brown, who's always depressed and down.
Well,
you got a dirty kid playing the piano all the time and carrying around his blanket.
they're limited on how many characters they could do when they're doing the Peanuts. When you're doing Looney Tunes, you got so many. It's
Actually, I don't care about your park because neither park has an original mascot.
Arms, but watch this. You can pop one of them.
That is the original mascot. If you notice, Six Flags has had Looney Tunes since like the 80s, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, but it's a trademark dog. I mean, it's not limited to Six Flags Great America. It's used at every Six Flags park. It's what I'm trying to get across.
I agree. I just like Bugs Bunny. He's an asshole. I mean, Bugs Bunny's always messing with Elmer Fudd, and Elmer Fudd wants to blow his head off. It's like, it's the perfect mix. I know it's violent nowadays, but to me, it's still classic that he just.
Yeah.
I mean, who would want to blow Bugs Bunny's brain off after messing with you that many times?
well,
But my favorite's always Marvin the Martian. I wish they would bring Marvin the Martian out more because Marvin the Martian's hilarious.
here we go. Going back to the double carousel, really quick. There we go.
It is a pretty picture.
Thank you.
I've got the same picture. I think I'm going to get those. I want to go through a couple of websites and I want to get, because you know how you have your back wall up there? When I do my back wall, I want to have different pictures of like the entrances to parks. I think it'd be kind of cool to have in the background. Right now I have my favorite Pier park in the country, which is Santa Monica Pier. I love the Pier. Muscle Beach.
I want to do for mine. I want to do my holiday world stuff I have, and then I want to do a whole stuff of like coaster models.
I don't have enough room to do everything I want to do. I need a bigger wall.
Oh yeah, by the way, guys, Saturday is a special broadcast. So I'm going to be hosting on my side on Saturday. They're going to be at Winter Chill Out, and we'll talk about that later. But we're actually going to be broadcasting live from Winter Chill Out Saturday.
Yes, it happens. Hopefully it does.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen.
Oh,
Jacob, you're just going to have to do 20 miles an hour all the way to Sandusky, Ohio. If you don't want to go, sell me your ticket, and I'll go for you this Saturday.
I'll keep you updated. I gotta watch the storm, but as of now,
I'll pay $400 for my flight into Cleveland on Friday. How does that sound?
I don't care who you go, as long as my money out of it. So,
hey Jacob, you know you could send that to yourself, and you could do a pop up on here, right?
Yeah, I know, but I'm lazy. I'm really just looking. I thought I had a picture of us with the Bugs Bunny and everybody, and that's what I was really looking for.
Hey, do me. I'm gonna pop it up at the end of the show, but we have a new shirt for a roller coaster therapy thing. $15, and I will pop it up at the end. It says I need coaster therapy, and I think it's a great shirt if you guys are looking for something to add to the parks this year. I do like the Eyes on Kings Island, puts on the Eiffel Tower for Hunt. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we could talk about special events in this show, too. Yeah. And I got to give it, I'll give it to you-know-who later on. Water parks. Got to give it to Kings Island on that, only because I've never been to Six Flags Great America.
It's too cold when we go.
Yeah, every time I go, even in June, it seems like it's like 68 degrees outside. You're like, what the heck, man? But I think both have a good lineup. I think if Six Flags Great America ever gets their water coaster done, what is it called? Tsunami Surge? What is it called? Tsunami Surge? However, Kings Island does not have a water coaster. How do you not have a water coaster and you're like one of the coaster capitals of the world? You can't even do it in the water park.
Because they spend more money on their
shitty rides.
Dry park.
Oh, I mean, good rides. Good rides.
Well, I think Kings Island, they kind of just gave up on the water park because they realized that it was kind of that they had to compete with Great Wall Lodge, the beach when it opened, the beach when it was open. So,
dude, Grey Wolf Lodge is like $500 a night right now.
Yeah.
$500.
But do you know that people will see that on Great Wolf Lodge to go to Kings Island, and then they'll use the water park there.
Hey, people, if you're going to spend that much on a night at a hotel, book a Spirit flight down to Orlando, go to Volcano Bay for 2 days, and you get nice weather outside. You get a nice water park. Oh my God, $500 a night! I remember when that was like $300 a night, and I thought it was outrageous. My kids wanted to go, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll look into it." I looked at the price, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, it's not happening this year, guys."
The Kings Island water park is pretty good, but like you guys said,
it is. I actually spent all day in the lazy river, but I don't remember much of it because the last time I went to their water park was like 6 years ago.
Yeah, see, I'm not a big water park guy. I like water coasters, and that's about it. But I'm not trying to be in a dry park.
my wife loves the water park, so you guys know that.
Oh, on the campground? On the campground, yeah, that's a luxury campground, which I probably won't have the money to go to because we all know Cedar Fair. Yes, our channel does go on rants, and I'm going to say what I want to say. Cedar Fair, if you're listening, are you like Disney World?
I'll do your volume when not we can hear you.
That's all right. I'll still say it afterwards. It tells me how are you a host? We're all three of us are hosts today.
Yeah, we're all on the same thing.
Whatever, Jacob. You know,
you can say it. You can say it. I was just messing with you.
Well, I'm not. I'm not like one to usually rant about how much things cost because I stay in nicer hotels. But if you go to Cedar Point, for example, and a lot of people agree with me on this, I mean, $400 a night for a hotel. It's Ohio, for crying out loud.
I looked at the cabins for Holiday World, and if you want to stay at one of the nicer ones where you can have pets, or even if you don't do pets, it's like $200 plus a night.
That's cheaper than Cedar Point. That's like $600.
Actually, Jacob, they do have discounts for those going to Halloween nights. I saw. So
I know,
but if Cedar Fair is listening, you guys need to think about the people who are really visiting your parks. You guys aren't Disney World. All right? You're not Universal. Why not make it more affordable? You guys would sell more hotel rooms. Actually, they're not having problems. Never mind. Because people in that area that are Kings Island fanatics and Cedar Point fanatics will pay $1 million to go there because they're weird.
Because it's worth it. That's worth it, unfortunately, but
if you get, you know what? If you're going to spend that much, go outside of Ohio and go enjoy yourself somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Well, if you do it every weekend, yes.
Yeah, but I looked into it, dude. The package just to go there for a weekend was $800 for the tickets and to stay at their hotel Breakers, and I was like, but
now
nope.
Hotel Breakers though, I've been there. It is nice.
Is it really?
Yeah.
The rooms are kind of basic, Zach. No offense, but I've been in.
I know it is, but it's right on the beach, though. I mean, the top of the hotel itself is.
See, that's my only problem is the rooms don't include a lot.
Yeah, but the rooms are really basic there. Like if you're gonna charge somebody $400 a night, at least make the rooms nicer.
That's what I just said, dog.
Well, your voice isn't coming through, dog.
Oh,
that's because I'm sitting back. I'm
just messing with you, but let's go back to the water park. I get what you're saying. You have Great Wolf Lodge, but not everybody could afford Great Wolf Lodge.
No, that too, and back when on the beach water park was open too, that had a pretty good water park when it was open.
Sorry about the rant, guys. Wait, no, I'm not.
Oh,
I want to hear Zach go on a rant one of these days.
Yeah, I can hear about how bad money enforces.
Still the worst ride over at Cedar Point.
No.
Listen. The worst ride at Cedar Point is Gatekeeper.
No.
That's my number. How many wing coasters are in this country? 4 or 5.
4.
I've been on all of them. Gatekeeper's ranked my last one.
No,
I don't know, but
Flags has ranked my last one.
How many have you been on?
We have this cute little
You're missing Wild Eagle, aren't you?
Yep, which we're doing this season.
Hey, you can go with me. I have a gold pass, so
We were going to do it last year, but we kept going to Silver Dollar City instead.
and I will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, Silver Dollar City is a good park, though. It has a good round lineup. We're actually going to have next week Dollywood versus Silver Dollar City. Oh, wait, no, we can't because Jacob hasn't been there yet.
Well,
Jacob, you, me, we're gonna be fun on.
it's
Finding
also, it's also basically the same exact park, from my understanding.
Hey, if you guys, for
Just-
our audience, we need recommendations for next week. So if you're watching this, listening to this, give us an idea of what parks you guys want in the next park battle. And no, it can't be Magic Kingdom versus Cedar Point because we didn't get to go to Magic Kingdom last year because it was closed because that was part of our trip idea. So I'm thinking, you know what, we could do one that we haven't done yet. And I'm thinking we could do two parks that we haven't visited yet. And we could kind of do kind of a park battle based on what the information we know.
Yeah.
Maybe Magic Mountain versus Energy Landia. That'd be kind of an interesting one.
It would go to Energy Landia because of the potential that they have there. But anyways, we can talk about that after this show.
Are you talking about the farm fields? They have endless farm fields that they could take over. Ownership. Obviously, the ownership. Okay, here's my thing with the ownership. Both companies invest heavily into these two parks. Like Six Flags does invest heavily into Six Flags Great America. And judging from the past, Six Flags has taken really good care of Great America. Cedar Fair, in my opinion, has kind of put Kings Island to the side sometimes, and I don't think Kings Island is getting the type of love that it could get if somebody else owned it. For example, what the heck is going on with some of these coasters that they've added in the past? Kings Island used to be known for breaking records, and they haven't broke a single record since Banshee was built.
Yeah.
And Banshee's not taken care of well anymore. It rattles really bad, and it was rough. And that used to be my number one inverted coaster up until 2 years ago when it started getting really rough. Anyways, I would have to give it to Six Flags. Six Flags gets a lot of flack on stuff, but their three parks always get love.
Yeah, and here's the thing too, Six Flags, before COVID, every park every year got a new ride.
Yeah, whereas Cedar Fair kind of left out Michigan's Adventure and stuff like that. All
Yeah,
the
Michigan
parks.
Adventure gets it all left out. Valley Fair, Northern Fun.
But if you look at 3 Six Flags parks, so I'll just Six Flags Great America is always getting new additions. They'll get a new coaster here soon, just like they always do. Six Flags Fiesta Texas and obviously Magic Mountain are the top 3 parks. They always take care of them. They always get love. Whereas Cedar Point's kind of drifted away from Kings Island, in my opinion.
You mean the fifth?
Yeah, Cedar Fair, I mean. Sorry. Cedar Fair mainly just takes care of Carowinds and Cedar Point now. Those are the only 2 parks I've seen get a lot of attention. Knott's would get more, but it's landlocked. I love Kings Island, but at the same time, I'm kind of disappointed with their last 2 additions. I love Mystic Timbers, but I'm not in love with Orion. I think Orion would be great at a smaller Cedar Fair park, not at Kings Island.
Yeah, see, Ryan, it was too last minute. It wasn't fun enough. It needed a bit longer layout, but yeah.
And we're reading your comments, so I know Vandy, you said Kings Island is better. If you could state your reason why it's better, because we like to hear opinions. You might have had a bad experience at one of the parks, but this is why we're doing this show, kind of go over the goods and bads of both parks. I don't know, Jacob. Me and Zach kind of want to go with Six Flags on this one for ownership. Who would you go for on ownership?
Cedar Fair. Now hear me out. Okay, now hear me out. Six Flags ownership, they do add some decent rides. They do take the risks. Cedar Fair adds the public pleasers, but who's the more stable built? Who's who has the most stability between the two?
Cedar Fair does. And Cedar Fair also takes better care of the parks, like, landscape wise and that's park appearance. Cedar Fair does better on that kind of stuff.
Here's the thing. I used to think the same thing until this year or last year, but I think Six Flags handled COVID-19 better than Cedar Fair did.
Well, they may have done that better, but other than that, every time you've gone to a Six Flags park, I mean, it's the same. There's, I mean, no offense, Six Flags, but I mean, trash. It just looks old. I mean, the Six Flags St. Louis, doesn't that still have the original Six Flags entrance sign? Am I not mistaken, Zach?
No, they don't.
They got a new one.
Oh,
they got a new one.
Yeah, they got a new one for last year. It's actually really nice. It's actually the St. Louis Arts, and it says Gateway to Phil's. It's actually quite nice. I actually have it on my phone too, I think.
But I mean, when it comes to the ownerships, I mean, Six Flags doesn't take care of their things, and
it depends on the park. But yeah, I agree on that. What are you talking about, dude? Six Flags Great America is the world's cleanest park, man. You know what I'm talking about? That sign that they have up there?
No, that is the world's cleanest park.
What, Lightning Run?
No, I'm pointing to Holiday World. We all know my opinion on Kentucky Kingdom and their cleanliness, but Holiday World, they are on point every season. They handled COVID superb. I mean, the reservation system did have its ups and downs, but
I'll bring up.
Here's the new entrance for Six Flags St. Louis.
I'll bring up the video here.
Nice. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I'll bring up the video that we did on Six Flags St. Louis to kind of show you guys the front entrance. I actually enjoyed my time there. I thought the staff was amazing there, and I kind of got mad. No offense to Six Flags, but I kind of got mad because it's a gem actually in Eureka, Missouri, and I think it needs the treatment that it needs to because the staff was amazing there. They weren't rude. They were very nice, very welcoming. Zach would probably agree with me on that. Six Flags St. Louis has amazing staff there. I didn't have any issues with the employees or anything like that. The park was really clean. I actually had a lot of our fans walk up to us and tell us that they watch our YouTube channel. So that kind of gave me the idea. They actually gave us some love too, unlike Cedar Fair. When we visited the park, they shared our posts on their actual Twitter and Instagram. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, now a few years ago, I would not agree with that, but the past 2 years, the staff at St. Louis had gotten really, really good. Operations had gone up and up. So I'm really excited to see where this park goes in the next few years.
For sure, but I would definitely give you would go with you would go to Cedar Fair. I would go to Six Flags kind of just because they're more willing to take risks on like rides and coasters at Six Flags Great America, whereas Kings Island for Cedar Fair, they're taking the safe way out, and that's what kind of gets to me, kind of. And they're flat. We'll get in that a little later. I have not been to Six Flags Great America yet. Kings Island's my home park. Not a fanboy. I will be at Great America this year. Okay. Flat rides. This is an easy one for me. Six Flags Great America.
Agreed.
Agreed.
I mean Great America, that has a fun ride.
I mean, Fiddler's Fling alone, by far, is one of my favorite flat rides ever. As soon as those motors kick in and you start going full speed, you're just like, wow, this thing is like on steroids or something. Contours.
Yeah, and also you can't forget Lobster too. That's fun.
Big sports collector, I agree. Kings Island used to, but that was under Paramount, not under Cedar Fair when they were risk takers. But yeah, I mean, Kings Island had. They got a couple of good flat rides. You got. What's the disc ride called?
Delirium.
Delirium's good. Drop Tower's good.
Yeah.
Delirium's good. Drop Tower's good. Other than that, I can't remember anything else in that park.
Sacred
Drop-
on Wall.
Drop Tower is good. Delirium is not.
Shake, Rattle, and Roll is not that good compared to the one at Six Flags Great America.
Yeah, you're right there, but it's one of my favorite things.
Well, Trinity America doesn't have what they have is Lobster, but that's a bit different though.
The octopus is okay, but the ride's too short. It takes them forever to load it. The Scrambler is not good. The Top Hoss they used to have was wonderful, but they got rid of it.
Yo, you talking about Tomb Raider? Dude, I'm still mad that I never got to ride that. I saw the videos on that, and Defunctland, I think, actually did a video on it.
He did,
And
yeah.
the amount of detail that went into that Tomb Raider ride, it's like
The
Paramount might have, yeah.
It was when I was younger, I rode it, but I didn't appreciate it. I didn't seem to like it, man, decoration, but I had me younger, but now, like, man, I wish I would appreciate that more when I was younger, but I didn't.
Yeah, I think Kings Island, if you're listening, Chad, if you're listening, Don, if you're listening, I would love to see an SNS Scream Machine get added to Kings Island.
That Screaming Swings are so good.
I love how our views went up on YouTube, down on Facebook, and we still have our one Twitch viewer. Thank you for still being on Twitch.
Thank you, guys.
We love Twitch.
But yeah, I think Paramount, they got a lot of flack, but if you look at all the good rides that were added during their years, they might have did replicas at a lot of their parks. With Flight of Fear was added during Paramount. Son of Beast, that was a disaster, but I don't know who we're going to blame on that. We'll talk about that in a minute when we get to coasters. I'm still mad that I never got to ride that ride. I would have loved to ride it one time.
Woo!
I'm still mad that out in Vegas I can't ride the original trains on the Manhattan Express either.
Me too, but I'm also glad I don't know to miss it.
Are you talking about this one?
Chris, I sent you a video. Well, I sent you a whole bunch. You can ignore all of them but the one. There's
Video on what? What did you send me in on?
You'll see.
Is it on my phone? Because I don't have my phone right now. My daughter has it.
Yeah, it was on your phone. It's about to blow your phone up.
Just send it to my Facebook Messenger and I'll download it.
I am right now. But we can't leave flat rides.
We can't or we can?
We cannot.
Why not?
Because this video fits in with flat rides. Well, we can go back.
Let me bring up Facebook then. What do you guys think? The ones that are, whoever's still listening to us live, and if you're watching this later on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch or listening, just comment what you think category-wise who won this.
Oh, also Kings Island, we can't forget, they actually have some decent water rides. Their log flume gets you very, very wet.
Oh, yeah, Race for Your Life, Charlie Brown.
Oh, yeah, if you ride that thing with multiple adults, you will get soaked.
Thank you.
I'm like, you can that, man. I'm putting a log flume. No, if you put 3 adults in that thing, you will get absolutely soaked.
It is sending. It's a 2.5 minute file. So.
And then Congo Falls, I do that too because you get wet on it, but you don't get absolutely drenched like you do at the one at Orlando.
We're going to bring up a quick video file, guys, as soon as it gets sent to me, and we're allowed to do something new here on StreamYard, which is a great format we're able to use. They allow us to do short video clips up to 3 minutes now. So,
yeah, I love Whitewater Canyon. I love how the operators mess with you in the back.
Lobsters and Filler Fling are both great flats at Six Flags Great America. I agree. I also like that one that's over by the swinging ship. Hey, for those of you that are old Six Flags Great America fans, do you remember the space shuttle ride that used to be at Six Flags Great America? I do. I was young, but I remember it. The ride scared the hell out of me, man. I was a little kid. Skyfly at Kings Island. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, and that's kind of like, it's kind of like the Zampella Air Race, but it's all self-controlled for the thing.
How would you guys like us to get somebody from one of the manufacturers on our show? We're thinking about contacting GCI or Gravity Group and seeing if one of them's willing to do a show with us. We like to get our feedback from our fans and see what you guys want for future shows.
I don't think GCI would like us.
GCI loves us, man. I always give them compliments. Gravity Group might not like us because I diss on their tracking, but I love their coasters.
Yeah. Yes, Gravity Group, we love your coasters, don't really. I mean, they can get mad at us when we've been with idolized Voyage down here. So,
Mind Blower's my number 2 wooden coaster, so Voyage is my number 1. So, and
exactly.
Hades 360 is my number 3. So,
yes, Gravity Group, you are definitely the best wooden coaster designers. Hear me out. A Gravity Group with track work done by GCI.
that video file was kind of small. It didn't take long to download, that's for sure. Hold on.
Oh, it's only 2.5 minutes. It's an off-ride POV. Oh, now this is not the one that was at Kings Island. This is the one that just went away at Kings.
But yeah, you guys definitely see. I like how they're letting us add video clips on here now. That's kind of nice, isn't it? I'm gonna mute that though. It's a little loud.
Oh, but that's the whole point of the theme.
Okay. If you're listening to us on podcast, we're watching a video right now, so we apologize if there's a moment of silence. You'd want to view this on YouTube to understand what we're talking about right now. Well, now that we know we could do video clips, that makes it a lot better for our shows now. We don't have to rely on YouTube anymore. Okay. I think that's good enough on that. Thanks for sharing that, Jacob.
But yeah, that's what Tomb Raider kind of like.
That's the one over at King's Dominion. That's why it was outdoors. He was just showing what the ride was like. So imagine what Paramount would have done if they wouldn't have went bankrupt because their movie sucked. Oops. Let's say that out loud. I'm a movie fanatic, and Paramount is not a good movie company.
Hey, whoa.
Don't whoa me, man.
Paramount made some decent. I love the Rugrats movies. Let's start there.
Lame.
Whatever. Excellent.
I still watch the Rugrats movies. You can even ask. Well, you can't because she's not on here. But you can even ask Annika.
Paramount single-handedly ruined the Tomb Raider franchise.
Yeah. Didn't they make Beethoven?
They made a lot of movies, but Paramount early on actually made good movies. I was just joking on that, but the later on Paramount that went bankrupt was Face Off was okay. Yeah, the 90s were good for them, not so much the 2000s. I could do a whole entire video on movies. I'm pretty sure Jacob probably could too.
Sometimes, yeah. It depends. I have an issue sitting down a lot.
I thought about starting my own channel for movie reviews because I literally watch everything.
Dude, you hate every movie you watch.
No, I don't. That's you. That's you. He falls asleep during movies, guys.
Yes, I do. I get bored.
He gets bored with movies. How do you get bored with movies?
Unless you're at the drive-in or unless you're really kind of at the movie theater, I can't really sit down to watch a movie. I mean, I rather.
What's your favorite? Well, your favorite TV series of all time is probably Doctor Who, right? My favorite.
If we're not going cartoon, yes, Doctor Who, but realistically, it's Scooby Doo.
My favorite of all time would have to be Breaking Bad. Hands down, Breaking Bad is one of the best shows ever made.
Dude,
The best show ever made.
Why not? I'm on The Office and Parks and Rec, so. But movies, though, Jurassic Park.
Oh, I'd be all in on that. I just have to find time for it because movie reviews take a lot of time because I'd have to watch it like 3 times before doing a review on it. And plus, Eric Voss from New Rock Stars, which to me is the best YouTube channel for anything related to comics or reviews of like comic related stuff. He watches stuff 5 times before he even points out things. So, Duck Dynasty, everybody has their show.
Yeah, that good too. I'm doing that.
Duck Dynasty is a good show.
Duck Dynasty, those guys at least didn't let money get to their head. That's what I always liked about them. Coasters. This one is a tough category because on here we're going to talk about past, present, and future. So if we're talking about the past, both were pretty innovative on their coasters. You had Six Flags Great America opened, the Wizard. They opened Demon back in the 70s. Kings Island obviously had the Racer. Had what was the other one that opened before the Beast? What was that one called? You had another coaster there.
Cobra's Curse? No.
No, King Cobra.
King
Cobra.
There we go.
You had
Cobra's Curse. I was looking at a photo of Cobra's Curse.
Well, King Cobra, wasn't that the one looper from Arrow?
No, that was from Togo. That was the world's first ground up stand-up coaster. Not the world's first stand-up coaster, but the world's first coaster designed to be stand-up coaster. So
that opened in the 70s? You're right, because, yeah. Togo, yeah.
Yeah, King Cobra, Demon, yeah.
Well, the bad didn't open until 83, guys. So I actually did a video on it before El Toro Ryan did a problematic video, and his somehow blew up, obviously, because he's El Toro Ryan, and he does great on those videos. But I know he got a lot of his information from the Kings Island blog like I did, because that blog was amazing and gave a lot of information about that coaster. Mr. Orion shirt, I have El Toro. I mess with El Toro, but by far it is my number 4 wooden coaster in the country.
Not bad at all. Not bad.
My nickname's on Instagram. I have my own personal account called Wooden Coaster Junkie. I love wooden coasters. I like messing with Zach on it, but I do like Boss. It just scared the hell out of me the first time I rode it. So.
Oh, I got you. I got you. You're Boss. There you go. I wanted to hear my whole life.
But back to the both parks. I'm going to break down the history of Six Flags Great America. So you had Demon, you had Demon, you had Wizard, which is still around. You had American Eagle in 81. The world's first B&M stand-up coaster. Actually, the world's first B&M was built there. Iron Wolf rode it. It's now called Firebird. I hate floorless coasters. I think they're stupid. Then you have Batman the Ride. You have, unfortunately, you had V2, and then you had, what was the other one called that was there? Man, can you bring up the list, Zach? Because I can't remember it.
Maybe on what? List on what?
Actually, I'll bring it up here. I'm just messing with Jacob over here. So you hate everything.
No, I'm busy.
RCDB?
I'm doing something.
RCDB, we love you. Sponsor us, please.
Okay, so I'm bringing up Six Flags Great America right now. So I'm looking at all their past coasters.
I'm going to name that one.
Z-Force. I forgot about that one. So you had Shockwave in 88, which, by the way, sorry, Kings Island fans, Shockwave was better than Vortex by far.
Oh, actually, Chris, on Kings Island, we've got on the Bavarian Beetle, and we also forgot Scooby's Ghost Coaster. But Ghost Coaster was underneath there. But yeah, Bavarian Beetle, that was a SDC that on Galaxy Coaster.
It wasn't supposed to pop up yet.
What are we looking at here?
Everybody's favorite boomerang.
Not a boomerang, it's a Vertigo model.
Oh, yeah, and Vertigo. Yeah, you know.
give me a hard time.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, I will say that is definitely my favorite boomerang styled coaster.
That's why I pulled it up, because it's one of
Rolling
that one
Thunder.
I've been on a few of them, and it's one of my favorites.
Rolling Thunder, which closed in '95. But I thought Rolling Thunder closed as soon as they built Raging Bull. See, some of this information's incorrect on here. But currently you have a lot of different developments over at Six Flags Great America. So you have American Eagle that opened in '81, still open. You have Demon that opened in '76, still open. Wizard that opened in '76 is still open. I mean, they still have all their old coasters open. Both parks take really good care of a lot of their old coasters. However, many of you guys know that Shockwave was removed for Superman the Ride. And Shockwave was just like Vortex, only with more loops and a taller. But, I mean, when you look at Six Flags Great America, they have a lot of... Okay, so Six Flags takes risks on new coaster developers. We wouldn't have RMC today if it wasn't for Six Flags taking the risks and building their coasters for a while. I think Six Flags took a risk on a company. It paid off for them. It paid off for RMC. They took a risk with B&M. If it wasn't for Six Flags taking a risk with B&M, we wouldn't have 8 different Batman the Ride replicas. But
hey,
at the same
Batman the Ride 1 through 10 are all amazing.
Yeah, they are fun rides. I mean, they are very rideable.
They might as well go ahead and go around and label part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and list them in order, so that way at least people know which way they were built, so they don't have to look it up.
True. And then we got Bob's Coaster Experience telling us all the thing.
Yeah, so Vortex is gone, sadly. Rip Vortex.
That was about
blah. That coaster sucked.
Dude, whatever. That coaster was amazing.
Not compared to Shockwave at Six Flags Great America, it wasn't.
I would ride Vortex all day long, but my wife can.
Oh no! Speaking of Vortex and Son of Beast, I got build these still.
I mean, realistically, if Vortex wouldn't have been such a money pit, they should have got rid of Stunt Coaster.
Well, I'll admit, okay, so both parks, by them taking risks, Intamin over at Six Flags, B&M over at Six Flags, Kings Island took a risk with Arrow. If it wasn't for Arrow building the suspended coaster model, we wouldn't have had inverted coasters in the '90s from B&M. So you got to give them props on that. You got to give Arrow props for creating a coaster war in the '80s and the '90s. I will agree wholeheartedly, okay? I'm not saying I don't agree with it. Sorry, I'm trying to remove this completely. I don't know why it's not letting me. Remove from studio. There we go. Yeah, you missed those, but we're just kind of going over coasters. So you want to talk about innovative coasters? I will give it over to Kings Island because of the Beast. Because without the Beast getting built, nobody would have took a risk on building long, tall, and fast wooden coasters. Because before that, they were out and back models. So they took a risk. They rebuilt it a couple times in-house. We would have had Din Corporation, which, to be honest, who cares? That'd have been fine by me. It's these two know that, in my opinion, that's the worst wooden coaster manufacturer ever made. But however, without Din, we wouldn't have the Beast. Kings Island has 2 good wooden coasters. Six Flags has 1 good wooden coaster, which is Viper. I think American Eagle kind of has overdone its time, and I think it's time to move on and either tear it down or reprofile and rebuild it from Gravity Group. If you're listening, contact Six Flags. Let's reprofile American Eagle and make it better. The Beast, I know we talk a lot of crap about the Beast, but for being a coaster that's 40 years old, I mean, without it, we wouldn't have had the coasters that we have nowadays in the market. So we got to give props to Kings Island back in the day for taking risks on that, taking risks with the Bat. Son of Beast was kind of like a blunder, but that's due to the fact they went with an unknown coaster manufacturer. If they would have went with CCI, we would have probably still had Son of a Beast. Looking at the whole background on Son of Beast, guys, I've watched multiple videos on it, and it seems like the fault kind of lays with Paramount and the coaster manufacturer in that one.
Yes.
Because it seems to me they went with cheaper wood, which costs cheaper wood and heavier trains, which ended up costing it. Beast is just a cool ride and just fun, not really exciting. Yeah, it's a trip through the woods. I always say it's a relaxing trip through the woods. I told my oldest son this year, it was his first time riding, and I said, we're going through an adventure through the woods.
Unless you're riding it during haunt at night, because then it's nothing but fogged woods.
This is a hard category for me, though, Jacob, because both parks have done so much in innovation on coasters that without these two parks, we wouldn't have the coasters we have nowadays.
Yeah.
So this is one of my hardest categories right now because
I'm thinking about siding with Great America on this one. Kingdown had a better history, but current lineup is Great America, and future is probably Great America too.
Yeah, Great America has more intense coasters. I'll agree on that.
Yeah, Great America had a bit. I mean, they have less coasters than Kings Island, I think, but I mean, they did have a better line. I mean, and me mainly, Great America has more coasters that I want to marathon. Kings Island, I don't really want to marathon much except for December, basically. That's about it.
Yeah, because don't get me wrong, I like the Beast at night, but I don't ride it during the day anymore because I think it runs too slow during the day. Mystic Timbers, I love the coaster, but I learned if I ride it at night, it's the only time I'll ride it anymore, or during Winterfest if that ever happens again. Racer to me over the last 3 years has gotten better each year, but to me, it was just such a rough coaster and not well taken care of. This year, okay, so like you said, Zach, with Banshee is not even that old, and we're already running into issue. Batman the Ride is going to be 30 next year, and the coast is it going to be 30? Yeah, 30 next year.
Yeah,
oh my God, I'm getting old. I'm getting old, man. I rode it opening year, and the coaster still rides great like it did opening year. I don't know how Six Flags Great America has great maintenance staff, though. Out of all the Six Flags parks that you go to, their maintenance staff, by the way, their maintenance staff, from what I know from the grapevine, from people that know the maintenance staff there, they personally told Six Flags don't ever own another or don't ever buy another S&S coaster for this park. Don't ever buy, because they have nothing but issues with Max Force and Joker, both S&S coasters. But their maintenance staff has a lot of say-so in that park. And if you guys didn't know, Viper is a replica of Coney Island Cyclone. So if you've ridden Viper over at Six Flags Great America, you've also rode Coney Island Cyclone too.
Yeah, but
no way.
That's a fun fact. But actually, the only wooden coaster that Six Flags built in house.
Jacob, we do have people that watch this that don't know everything about coasters.
I was kidding. I really didn't know that.
You didn't really?
No, I didn't know that.
Viper, I think Viper's the best wooden coaster at that. I didn't like it at first, but after I rode it a couple times that year, I kind of fell in love with it. I don't know what it is.
It was really good. I was like, this is pretty good.
By the way, the old promotion for it was amazing because it made it look more badass than what it was because they had a Viper that threw itself out in the screen. So that was kind of cool. I think Racer did. Yeah, it did. It. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the Racer, and that's why they're reprofiling and tracking it. They're going to have it all completed by the 50th anniversary. So I guess that's their big project. I imagine Carowinds and Cedar Point will probably get something new as well.
And then maybe after that, they'll work on Banshee.
Yeah, I think Banshee World it has lack of maintenance. Because after Holiday Road, maintenance staff figured out that, hey, we need to maintain it better. That way it runs smoother. So Kings Down is the same thing.
Yeah, when I did the backstage tour of Thunderbird, not to go off subject.
Oh, so clean.
But like, were you on that backstage tour?
No, I got videos of it. It's just
Oh yeah, that's right.
because I run the holiday roll page. It's just the back tour was so clean. I mean, it would look so clean you can eat off the freaking floor.
Yeah, they
Where can you say that at a roller coaster amusement park? I mean, especially in a maintenance back area, typically can't say that.
well, the maintenance, like Zach said, the maintenance technician that Zach was talking about was saying we learned if we replace certain components of the coaster that it runs a lot smoother and better and faster. So, like Zach was saying, maybe Six Flags Great America found that out years ago. Because if you notice, it's almost 30 years old and that thing runs still smooth. You have Banshee that's what, 6 years old now?
Yeah.
And last year it was so bad.
Yeah. That too.
And
How can Amazing Bull run in the cold, but Kings Island can't seem to get Diamondback and Orion to run below 50?
I don't know. I was told it's the oil that they use, and maybe Kings Island doesn't want to, or Cedar Fair doesn't want to invest in the type of, not oil. Oh my God. The type of grease that they use. Maybe Kings or maybe Six Flags uses grease that can operate up to 28 degrees.
So I think we learned is that we need to have Six Flags go and teach Kings Island how to maintain a B&M.
True, but why does Mystic Timbers run so good? And then I've been looking up this online and it's driving me nuts. Mystic Timbers is one of the best wooden coasters. GCI, for what it is, a lot of their coasters are kind of a hit and miss, but Thunderhead and Mystic Timbers to me are good coasters. Well, what did they do differently in Mystic Timbers where it runs better in the cold than it does in the,
Actually, I noticed the same thing about Making Fun that it also runs really good in the cold too.
Does it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a GCI thing. Maybe it's
I think
the type
so.
if you guys, because we do have some people that on this channel might not know. All three of us are pretty good about history. We're all trying to do research and learning more and more and more. But a lot of people don't realize that CCI, for all its great and glory, if it wasn't for CCI, we wouldn't have Gravity Group and we wouldn't have GCI. By the way, GCI tracks and Gravity Group reprofiles, they still get along with each other. So a lot of people think in the industry you have a lot of competition. B&M hates Intamin, Intamin hates B&M, this, that, and this. But actually, all of them talk with each other, and they're fine with innovation because they all want to help each other out, which makes it better for us as consumers. Going to parks, getting new technology. S&S still by far perfected that air launch like nobody has ever done. So
yeah, I mean it air launch is powerful. If you ever get a chance to go by it, Powder Keg, and you'll feel it for yourself. It's a good launch.
Have you been on Max Force yet at Six Flags Great America?
I was supposed to be this past summer, but COVID hit, so hopefully this summer I can.
Yeah, that launch is really intense.
Yeah, I figured it would be because I've been Powder Keg many times, so.
I know it's short, and that's the downside of it, but they were testing a new technology out, so.
And honestly, I can't complain about being solid when it's a good layout. My only complaint about Toppled Vexa is it's one thing, a launch, stop, at done. Whereas Max Force, yeah, it's solid, but it at least has many elements like a launch and then inversion cell.
Okay, so you say that Bob's Coaster Experience, but here's my thing with that. You do soil samples before you do construction out on a site, so it's not known that this kind of stuff's going to happen. So they do soil samples where they're building stuff at. So they're going to know this way beforehand. So I think that's an excuse that's somehow been floating around the industry for a while. Because from what I understand, Ohio has much clay in the soil as Indiana does. So if that's the case, southern Indiana, where Holiday World sits at, would have rattling and Thunderbird like you do over on Banshee, and that's not the case. But I mean, I agree with you. I've heard this story that it's the soil, but they do soil samples before they even build anything nowadays. So they're not going to put a coaster there if the soil is unstable or the land or the type of structure is unstable. They're going to know that they need to put more support, like thicker concrete for the supports, stuff like that. So
Unless,
I think it's an excuse.
well, we can't. No, I won't go there.
No, go ahead, go there.
Unless they're trying to go the cheap route.
Yeah.
And say, okay, well, these soil samples say we need to add this much concrete between this and this much concrete to be safe. Well, what if they're going, let's say it's like a 20-foot radius to 30-foot radius.
True.
Most parks do 25. What if they're only doing 21, 22, which is why they're having these issues?
It could be because you look at the Chicagoland area has some of the strictest building standards in the country, right? So I don't know what Cincinnati areas, building standards are, building codes are, but I know in the Chicagoland area, it's very strict. So it would make sense that a lot of that would be more sturdy. But like I said, if the soil was the same, because, primarily in southern Ohio and southern Indiana, you're probably going to have a lot of the same characteristics in the soil and the ground because it's kind of the same terrain most of the time, right? So I think if that was the case, other coasters at Kings Island would have the same problems, not just Banshee, not just Diamondback doesn't have that problem. So if that was the case, then Diamondback would be having the same problem as Banshee does. Something happened during the construction of Banshee, or the maintenance isn't where it needs to be at on that.
Yeah.
Hopefully this upcoming season we see that it's not as janky as it was last year. Orion is basically in the same area, so we'll see if Orion has the same issues as that does.
Yeah, but I think what it is too, you notice it more on Banshee because you hang a motor track and it is a bit more intense too. Because inverts are naturally more intense than a hypercoaster or something like that.
True, probably more stress on the track.
Yeah.
I don't know what the full, but like Bob's Coast Variants, I'm not trying to douse your thing. I appreciate your comment. But I've heard this rumor floating around. I'm not believing the rumor. Just because soil samples are done, Jacob would concur on that. I have friends who are in excavation. Soil samples are done before any type of work's usually done on anything. So they know exactly what the ground can support before they put anything in place. And if they didn't do that, which I highly doubt that because Cedar Fair has been doing this for a long time with their big-ass coasters at Cedar Point, I highly doubt that's the case.
I didn't say that they didn't do it. I said they just went with the lowest amount possible.
Oh, kind of like how Indiana, when they built their new interstate, didn't go with the federal standards, so their roads crumble really fast.
Well, for example, like let's say you get something that says you can support up to blah 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 to blah blah blah, like 10 to 15, just throwing out two random numbers.
True.
You would want to typically build towards the higher side, 14, 13 if you want to last longer. But what if they're building 10, 11, the bare minimal, which is what's causing issues, but that would seem silly for them to do, but it's possible.
It is possible. And what used to occupy that land was Son of Beast, part of it, right?
Yes.
Or Son of Beast, was it further over than that?
Well, the station's right there next to in between that and Firehawk, or not Firehawk, the Bat.
But I think if you look at like coasters in general, like you look at the experience and stuff, the variety of lineup would have to go to Six Flags Great America. Innovation for me is tied because both took risks for their time and were willing to take risks. However, Six Flags is still taking that risk with new coaster models. Cedar Fair is not at Kings Island. So for coasters, I got to give it over to Six Flags Great America.
I don't agree with that because you know how to get history, but why not? They going safe.
Oh.
Six Flags is still breaking records and doing stuff.
Well, you look at the amount of coasters that are Six Flags Great America. You got an inverted coaster, you've got a hyper coaster, you've got you got an air launch coaster, you've got a Wild Mouse, which Kings Island does not have a Wild Mouse. You've got 2 kiddie coasters. You've got a SNS, which whatever 40 free spin. You've got a flying coaster, which Kings Island does not have a flying coaster. Kings Island is wooden coaster capital of the world.
Kings Island used to have a flat coaster.
Kings Island may have the most wooden track for coasters, but I would not call it a wooden coaster capital of the world because one of the coasters did not do a
Never mind. That's Holiday World. It's wooden coaster capital.
Well, yeah, just because a park has the most wooden coaster track in the world doesn't mean that it's wooden coaster capital of the world because we all know that I will take Void and Legend any day over Beast.
Silver Dollar City would go to mine. Well, no, Hershey Park, but it'd be a toss up between Silver Dollar City and Hershey Park.
For what?
Best roller coaster capital for me in the United States. It's not about the amount of roller coasters; it's about the quality.
It's on quality of quantity.
Yeah.
Quality mode.
It's just like your alcohol. You want quality alcohol over quantity. You don't want to go out and get the Schwetka. You want to
get the Grey Goose.
You want to go out and get the Grey Goose and the Tito's and
Tito's. Come on, man, Tito's.
Tito's is still more expensive than Schwetka. That was going for my.
Yeah. I know.
Everybody who used to drink in high school knows what Schwetka is. I really could not handle it, but
you drank in high school?
No, we do not promote underage drinking. I did not drink in high school.
I think in high school we just took whatever was available. I mean, Pucker was pretty rarely available back in high school.
Back in the 70s.
I'm just kidding. We didn't drink. Unless you live in Wisconsin, then it's legal if you're 18. All right. It's still legal in Wisconsin if you're 18, if you have somebody who's over the age of 21 that's sponsoring you. Anyways, I found that kind of interesting. Where did he go? He's always disappearing during our shows lately. Entertainment. I love grade B entertainment at these parks. For that, I would have to give it to Kings Island.
I agree.
It's slightly better. Six Flags, however, entertainment-wise, during their Halloween event might be better than Kings Island. Let me add a category on here. We're going to call it special events. Because both parks have special event. Well, not so much.
Yeah, because Kings Island, Circuit Delay style sale is actually really good.
Oh my God, we have that on here. I forgot we had that category, alcoholic beverages. So we'll go quick past this category. Except for that one show everybody claimed was great inside that theater. But you have to understand, I go to a lot of shows at different parks. So I think my standard was up here because Jacob knows that summer we went to Busch Gardens. And Busch Gardens is not like the best in the world, but Busch Gardens is probably up here. Kings Island is probably right here.
That theater show at Busch Gardens was pretty good.
And down here, the Kingdom.
But I would give that category over to Kings Island because they do a pretty good job with their shows. Six Flags tries, but I don't think they really care about those live shows. However, they're one thing. And then we'll go to special events. I'll give that over to Kings Island because they've been doing a good job over the last couple of years with their special events. Back is on my...
All right, so special events. I will give Kings Island that for Halloween time, but for Christmas, I can give it a Six Flags in America because they have more coasters open.
For Christmas, I'm gonna have to give it to Silver Dollar City.
Amen.
But I know we're not covering them. I think between the two, I'm gonna have to go with Kings Island.
Kings Island, Halloween, but Christmas is Six Flags though.
I've just had better special events.
We'll say Kings Island won that. Even though I have not been to Six Flags' Halloween event yet.
Me neither, but I'm going off Six Flags Holiday in the Park, though, which I take over Winterfest.
Okay, I probably on that. However, Six Flags charges an upcharge for their Halloween event, so that's why another reason I'd give it over to Kings Island.
They do upcharge for the houses, so.
Oh, okay. So we'll give that category to Kings Island. Let's move over to food. Hands down, that's going to go to Kings Island easily.
Yeah.
I love Skyline chili. I like Rose's pizza.
Okay.
It's amazing pizza, and I like all the other options there. And if you get the all-day dining at Kings Island, you can eat every hour and a half till they close, which I do all the time, which was like $35, which is nothing.
Skyline chili.
Don't even try it, dude.
Roller coasters. Don't mix.
They do. They mix.
No, they don't.
How don't they?
Dude, imagine eating some chili, having 2 beers, and then trying to ride freaking Vortex. It would be the worst combination ever.
Well, we don't have to worry about that anymore. Vortex doesn't exist anymore.
Okay, fine. Banshee.
Okay.
I feel you could
that is one thing. Let's jump back to
your house. Coney barbecue.
Yeah, which
I know I'm about to jump way off topic here, but this is what gets me. Why do you not have any coasters really that go upside down?
at Kings Island?
Other than Flight of Fear, Banshee, and Vertigo. What goes upside down? That's not a flat ride.
Banshee. Banshee and Vertigo, and yeah, you mentioned the 3.
That's it.
I mean, Six Flags only has. Well, yeah, Six Flags does have more. Yeah, Max Force. You got the Superman, the ride.
Max Force.
Stop ending your coasters and helixes.
X-Flight. Batman.
But yeah, we give Kings Island easily this category. I think Six Flags food sucks, and that's just my personal opinion, and I'll stand by that all day that their food sucks.
Although Davy's Barbecue, I don't know how it is at Great America though, but I seen those it's pretty good stuff though. The Davy's Barbecue.
Yeah, but what's up with Six Flags when they serve their entrees? They have to put 10 pounds of fries on there.
And how come
the point is
you have to send
quantity?
How come you have to send a meal back 3 times before it comes out right or even cooked?
Oh yeah, I've had the chicken strips come out frozen before.
I haven't had that yet.
You or my wife, who we had to keep sending back the chicken sandwich,
or the Italian beef sandwich. You're in Chicago and you don't know how to make an Italian beef sandwich. Come on now, get it out of your park. You're destroying your image right there. How can you be in the Chicagoland area and not know how to make an Italian beef sandwich? Anyways, we should start doing food reviews of parks when we go there too. I think that'd be kind of cool because a lot of people when they go to parks don't know the food options. I think we should start covering them when we go to parks nowadays.
Oh, here we go. This could also be why we have a problem with Banshee. Because Banshee is the only inverted that uses this cleaning design.
What's new about the train design?
The best.
He said, well, I might not eat at Six Flags Great America. I would recommend you avoid it at all costs.
And if you do just eat pretzels. You can't fuck up a pretzel.
What pizza?
I don't like their food. I don't like their food deal anyways because they only give you lunch and dinner between certain times. Whereas Kings Island, if you have that meal pass, you just have to wait 2 hours in between, but you could eat it at any time. I mean, come on now. And they can't even handle the influx of people because, the Six Flags memberships are sold at such a cheap price. Everybody gets the meal deal. Everybody goes there. because it's cheaper than buying the all-day deal. Anyways, we could go on alcoholic beverages, but I'm going to give that to Kings Island because it's cheaper.
You mean you don't want to go buy an $18 beer?
Oh my god, yeah, you remember that day?
I do.
Like, yeah, I was like, yeah, I kind of have a taste for a draft beer, and then the bartender was like, $15. Like, we get a discount or something with his membership? No. Like, I guess I'll just drink soda then. I'm good. Thanks. Cost you $100 just to get a slight buzz? No, thank you. So we'll give that over to Kings Island. Plus, they have their own craft beer this year with Orion. By far, also when we were talking about coasters, Orion is a good addition because it's a people eater at Kings Island. However, I want Kings Island to get back to the way it used to be and be innovative. Talk to B&M, talk to other manufacturers, and bring in something that some other parks do not have.
They're not going to steal that thunder from Cedar Point. It's not going to happen.
I mean, Cedar Point had thunder, but it hasn't brought any thunder since Steel Vengeance. And, I mean, you just set the standards way above the limits with Steel Vengeance. So your next coaster is not going to hit that mark ever. Steel Vengeance can never be matched, probably.
I think they'll match it.
They'll find a way.
I have yearly Cedar Fair meal pass. Now, is that meal pass for Cedar Fair now only good at one park? I heard it's only good for one of the parks now and not all the parks anymore. And by the way, if you're in the Chicagoland area, have some local food. Don't have theme park food. The local food in the Chicagoland area is amazing. You can't go wrong. But why doesn't Six Flags Great America sell deep dish pizza? That's another issue I have. Okay.
It's Six Flags.
Anyway,
yeah.
let's go to maintenance.
It would taste like cardboard.
Actually, the one place that's over by Superman the Ride is not that bad. Actually, that pizza was pretty good. Maintenance. I'm going to have to give this one to Six Flags Great America because they have older models. Their coasters are 90% of the time up. I don't have any issues with roughness anymore with anything. Their maintenance staff has been there for a while. They make recommendations to Six Flags. They listen to their recommendations. I don't know. Did you see any issues when we were there with maintenance? I didn't see a ride down that long. If it was down, it was down for a limited time and it was back up right away. I don't know. This category is a tie for me because I think both parks have good maintenance.
Actually, now see, Kings Island has. I think Kings Island is probably a little better on when it comes to maintenance. I think because they tend to recheck it more often than Six Flags does.
Do we know that though for sure, or are we just assuming? Six Flags has got to rebound it faster because they keep more coasters open during their winter event.
They do.
My only problem with Six Flags having a better maintenance is they got a taunted pass.
They have what?
A taunted pass at other parks.
Yeah, but Six Flags Great America doesn't have anything besides one of their coasters. And that coaster,
Happy Kingdom, cough, cough.
Oh, well, that doesn't. I mean, they didn't have problems with the cables over at Great America because they actually used the ones that they were told to use. There's one that used to be at Six Flags Great America that they had issues with. I think it was Tidal Wave. And Tidal Wave, I think they had somebody die on that coaster. No, it wasn't Tidal Wave, I don't think. I'm trying to find it.
Didn't somebody die on Wizard?
If they did, it probably wasn't because of the coaster, I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
Might be Z-Force. There was one that was open there. It was a flat ride, I think. Oh, you know what it was? It was that. You remember that one ride that used to be at Cedar Point? That's now at, I think, Dorney Park. They don't consider it a coaster; it's a flat ride.
Yeah, the Demon Drop. Yeah.
Yeah, I think those coasters have had problems in the past where people have died on them. That ride kind of scared the living shit out of me when I rode it. Not gonna lie. Oh, it looks pretty. You're always changing your clothes. No, leave it on.
No, it was Flight Deck.
It was called Flight Deck.
That was the one of the incidents.
Where at? Because I don't even see that coaster on here. Talking about it selects Great America? They had one coaster that only lasted 1 year called Flight Deck, but I guess it was a kiddie coaster. I mean, not Flight Deck. Golf coaster. Okay, Bob's coaster experience with an upcharge on the regular one with a platinum hat. Okay.
The Whizzer accident in 1980. A 13-year-old boy was killed while attempting to board the Whizzer roller coaster when two trains collided. 8 other passengers were injured.
That's not that one, though. That's the one at California's Great America.
Okay, 1989, 2 boys intentionally jumped out of Vloggers Run ride. Hit.
How is that the park's fault, though?
I know. That was just, that was just reading.
It's like over at Cedar Point when that kid went to go get his hat. I mean, never mind. And then the parents try to sue the park, even though there's signs all over that say "Do not enter," caution, enter at your own risk. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to find other categories here. Oh, yeah, by the way, we have a trivia, so we're almost at the end of this. I guess we could talk about...
But we got to talk about who wins.
Talk about what?
Who wins?
Who wins? I mean, it's very narrow, but Kings Island wins, obviously, overall.
Because Kings Island's a better park.
Okay, so the thing that benefits Kings Island most of all, and I know you have to get off here about 10 minutes, so the thing that benefits Kings Island the most, it's only 3:35. You got plenty of time.
I know. I just don't want to leave. I want to stay home.
Well, but Kings Island has all that land. So in the future, Kings Island has so much land to build on. Cedar Fair needs to drop their crazy stuff and just invest in Kings Island, because Kings Island is within an hour and a half drive of Indianapolis, within an hour and a half drive of Columbus. You have the metro area of Cincinnati and Dayton. More people have the potential to go to Kings Island than Cedar Point. So why not invest more money into Kings Island than Cedar Point, knowing that Kings Island is going to have a better return because of how many people live in with the vicinity of that park. However, Cedar Point sits on a lake, which to me adds to the nostalgia of the park more, because I could go to the beach, I could go swimming on the beach, I could go to their water park, I could ride coasters that have great views of the lake. Whereas Kings Island, I have views of a wood line, but other than that, I don't have views of anything else. So Kings Island has the most potential, but we all know Cedar Point's going to get the most investment.
Yeah, I would think that Kings Island's next coaster is probably going to be a mock double launch coaster.
Oh, yeah, word is on that, by the way, Zach, that Dollywood's adding something big, and they're not announcing it yet, but I think they're going to add an extreme spin model, too.
That'd be awesome. If they did, they'd have a problem keeping me to go in front of them, so I don't know where to go.
I would love for Kings Island to add an RMC, though, just because I think that's what that park is missing, is an extreme coaster. You could keep the theming of the Mystic Timbers area with the something in the woods.
Yeah. But I would think that they should do a mock double launch coaster in the old Vortex plot.
And yes, I am getting a haircut, guys. Even though I like my hair.
We just need an extreme spinner. That's all we need.
The extreme. Okay, so I don't know why enthusiasts don't rank the extreme spinner models at the top, but our team would rank that as one of the most innovative
models out
coasters ever made.
Yeah, because Jacob has it as a number one. I have it tied with our number one for Sylvain, so.
I have it ranked as number 5 just because there's just so many coasters I've ridden. I think I'm going to break my amends and maybe Kraken will be my number 200. No, I'm just joking. Icebreaker's going to end up being my 200, unfortunately.
I mean, that's pretty good, though. New one, though, so. That'll be a good 200 thing.
Premier Rides. Okay, so Premier Rides, to me, has a lot of potential in the future. From what I heard on the Drunk Riders podcast from Zamperla is releasing a lot of different concepts over the next year that we're going to be surprised. So I'm excited about Zamperla. I hope they hit the market because they make great flat rides. Their flat rides are crazy.
Yeah, they're intense too. If you get one of the air races, those are intense.
Which one's what's it called? What's the one called that's over at Nickelodeon Universe at Mall of America? Because that's not an air racer, is it?
Mall of America, they have a good style Skyfly.
That's what it is. That one's harder to spin. I heard the air racer one's a little easier to spin.
Well, I feel the air race you don't spin it at all. You ride under it for you.
Oh, does it? Because
Yeah.
they were talking about on their show that some of them are free spinning and some of them are controlled spinning. I guess the one that's going in at Six Flags Fiesta Texas is free spinning.
I gotta get going.
All right.
Yeah.
See you later, Jacob. Oh, wow, it's 3:40 in the afternoon. All right. Yeah, I think, and let us know, guys. There's 9 of you guys watching in the comments below. Don't be afraid to write. What coaster manufacturer would you like us to have on our show in the future? And I know some of you guys are on Facebook, which has a 5-second delay. YouTube's like a 2-second delay. I don't know what Twitch is.
Yeah,
I imagine
one on here, or maybe we try to get Bunspot on here too.
I thought about that, and there's a couple of different hosts in the future. One of them I'm trying to get on here is Tom Krisky from Indiana Beach. I think he would do a show with us. I would love to have Staples on here as well. I thought about talking to Chad Showwater once we know the complete operating calendar of Kings Island, seeing if he's willing to, but I don't think he would. Yeah, but let us know who you think. Oh, GCI. Okay, yeah, I could definitely hit him up on there. But I think anything in the future for our roller coaster therapy show is great. It seems to be getting a lot of positive feedback. Unfortunately, Jeremy from Buckeye could not join us this week because he operated at that park. So there's a lot of things I wanted to talk about with that. We'll have special guests in the future. It's just trying to find the time.
Maybe also get Adam too from Zampilla. That'd be a good one too.
Let me see my phone. Okay, so we have GCI. Josh says GCI. What about everybody else that's listening here? Creepy Minnie Mouse.
We could probably get Hardware too. They'd probably be off for it.
Well, I still haven't heard back from them about doing that. One post backstage thing. As soon as we asked about that, they released information themselves on it. So I think that was like, here you go. Here's your information you wanted. They like to keep everything secretive. Because I think Leah and Holiday World knows that we would probably find stuff that they're not releasing because we have eyes for all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the Indiana Beach update that I did, how many people would have drove right past that and not looked inside the fence like I did? Probably not a lot. So I don't know what they're doing over there, but I'm excited for that park. I'm excited for a lot of the smaller parks. I hope whoever takes over Canoet Lake does something with it better than the other owners have.
Yeah. Actually, I wouldn't mind if someone like Dean Staples bought out Conneaut Lake. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think his main focus is going to be one park at a time, but that would be a cheap investment. That's a cheap park to buy, though, when you think about it. $1.5 million is not that expensive for a park. And if you just did limited investment, like a $2 million investment into that park, it would show heavily compared to other parks. That's a lot of money, though. I bet that maintenance bay that they're building at Indiana Beach probably costs a good $500,000 easily. Pole barns are not cheap, so. So we have GCI. We'll contact them. We talked about Gravity Group. Zamperla probably would be into it, even though we don't have as many listeners as some of the older podcasts. I think they would maybe. That was a good show, by the way. If you guys get it, if you get a chance to listen to that, Zach, definitely listen to that show. I learned a lot about that company on there. I can tell you that.
If I'm down to Ohio this Friday, I mean, that's what's happening now. Listen to them in Ohio, so.
One of the special guests, I'm going to try to get him on in March. S&S would be a good one. I'm trying to get Chris from Airtime Thrills on. He said he'd be willing to do a show with us. I would rather do it, though, however, later, like in March or March and April, when everything starts opening back up to talk about more things. But there's a lot of different things we're trying to do for the show. Next week, we still don't know what we're doing for much more.
We could probably get on Drunk Fighters, wouldn't we?
What?
Drunk Fighters?
I think Marcus and Mike and them might do a show with us. I think it'd be a fun show. We could just talk about whatever. So we have GCI, S&S. Our park battle thing, I can't think of any other parks that are kind of equivalent to each other.
Well, once we get to Dollywood this summer, we can do Dollywood in Star City.
Yeah, so next week we might go back to our original format, and we might. I don't know what we'll talk about next week. I'm thinking about. I don't know who we're gonna definitely have. And if you guys are watching towards the end of this, we're kind of done with the main show. So Kings Island definitely won this over Six Flags Great America. But I mean, if you look at both parks, go visit them, make a judgment for yourself. Don't just listen to us. I kind of take more of a neutral standpoint when I go to parks. I judge it based on, and a lot of us judge it based on more than just coasters involved. We look at everything.
Yeah, actually, another good one too would, what if we got Jefferson from Kingdom on the sale?
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, Jefferson and Carly or.
Well, if you guys are still watching us, if everything goes well this Saturday, I'm going to be the host because it's easier for me to host and then have them log into their phones and control the show from here. But we're going to have a special. So if you're watching on Twitch, that's a great format. But
that's if it happens. Hopefully it does, because see the point, they can plow things. So.
Well, that's what I like. That's what I want to do in the future, though, as we go to parks. I would love to do like a live podcast from that park if we're all together, because it'd be kind of cool just to talk about it as it happens. We want to do one from Hollywood Nights, but the signal's so bad down there, it's going to be hard to do a show like that. We'd have to do it back in the hotel room afterwards if we did something like that. Cedar Point's signal's pretty good, though, so I think there's a possibility you guys would probably be able to log on for like 15 minutes and do just like a live thing. But I think Winter
would be that we would probably do it from either Jacob or Annika's phone. That way I can focus on vlogging. So.
Yeah, we need to get better. Yeah, better footage than last year.
So, I mean, I'll be have my GoPro so I can get 4K footage for us.
Okay. So thanks for your comments, Josh.
Yes,
SNS and GCI. I'd love to get RMC on there. That's what we plan on doing in the future with the show, to just talk about general coaster talk. We quit using a frame because one of our friends actually, well, he's not a friend, but he's another channel that kind of mentioned us that we in the coaster community kind of use GP a lot. So I talked to my team about it, and we kind of decided that we're not going to use that term anymore, just because it's kind of an ignorant term when you think about it. Because there's nothing wrong with the public going into a park and enjoying the same things that we do. They're just not enthusiasts. So
Yes, because we need to have the dumb public come to parks because they're the ones that really go to the parks and get a number. So
we're kind of cheap when we go to parks. We budget everything. They don't care. They have like 4 family members. They might spend $400 or $500 on it. So
yeah, see, they're the one that really get an attendance number. So they had to build towards them. They just kind of go because see what we need to do when we go to parks, give them a good word. That way, the public go out to their parks and support them.
yeah, where would you guys like us to go in the future? How about a American Dream vlog? We're thinking about going over there.
Yeah, like what, April probably.
I kind of want to go out there when the Pier parks start opening up. That way, when we get done with that, we could go hit up a couple Pier parks.
Yeah, I mean that might be in April, right? April or May.
April, May, yeah.
Late April probably.
Truthfully, I'd rather go to Houston and go ride Boardwalk Bullet, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean we'll be doing that in June probably. I think we're going to be doing a trip out to Texas for the Costa Verde over at Texas. So yeah.
Well, Emperor started testing again out in San Diego, so we might be in the next couple of months. We might be getting an invite out to San Diego to go check that out because they're going to have a media preview day. So we're on their list. I would love to go cover the first compact dive built in America. That'd be amazing to go check that out. I think they have something going for them there, though, with that compact dive model. I think that compact dive model might be a hit. I don't know if you saw it or not, but it looks like it's going to be pretty sweet.
Yeah, it looks pretty forceful too. So
yeah, it's got those couple of 0G rolls. It's got a couple loops, no mid course. They're trying to get away from it, and I think this might be a good model for smaller parks to look at adding because I hope B&M goes back to their intensity like the old times again. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean they kind of did with Fancy a little bit when it first opened. It's pretty intense. So
yeah, it got me a little bit dizzy a little bit with all the rolls. Didn't they issue a new inversion that hadn't been used since like a long time ago on it?
Yeah, the Batwing.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah.
I hope you guys are all like enjoying this great. Well, I can't talk because it's 78 out in Orlando, Florida, but the rest of the country is dealing with that winter storm. So hopefully you guys are all safe out there. I know Texas is finally getting their power back. It kind of stunk yesterday seeing everybody out in Texas without power and stuff like that. And hopefully I
think I should go out today because I'm trying to go out today and get lunch out and go to Walmart too because my parking lot got paved, so I should go get out now.
Yeah. And if you get a chance, okay, so if you're watching this now live on YouTube, I'm going to be deleting this feed from here after I upload or download this actual video just because my video from yesterday that I did live talking about trip planning, which we're going to have another one, and I'm going to have Zach and Jacob join. The reason I did the one yesterday by myself is because I tend to fly more and do a lot of those type of trips. So I was talking about that. They tend to drive more. So kind of looking at 2 different aspects of traveling. But that video is still processing 28 hours later. And I do not want to be dealing with that with our podcast when people are trying to view them and stuff on YouTube. So I'm going to probably download this and then upload this and then delete the other one so that people would still see the full video. But it'll be on podcast. So if you guys get bored, I don't know why I always say that. But if you guys listen to podcasts and you need something in your car or whatever right now, Roller Coaster Therapy, all of our episodes are on there. I was doing poorly, and Zach would agree on that, on uploading them to it, but I've been getting them up there the same day or the day after now. So it's the same show, just without video. And in the future, it's going to be awesome doing those type of shows because I'm looking really forward to seeing who our next, special guests are in the future on this.
Me too.
I know our live format tends to get a lot more listens and views than our podcast format, but that's okay. that this kind of stuff happens. Some people do live podcasts and they do better with that than they do with the other format. But what we might do in the future is do like a live podcast from someplace, and the only way you're going to listen to it is on stereo. And then later we'll come back with the video version of it. I don't know. We're looking at a lot of different things to try to give you guys better experiences this year. Definitely more off-ride POV coasters, on-ride POVs. The park tours are going to be two separate, so there's going to be a park vlog. And then, like I talked about, there's also going to be a park review video, so you're going to get two different videos now. And then tomorrow, the icebreaker video will come out. And I want to, I thank the two channels that gave me permission to use their footage for that video, and you guys will enjoy it. It's going to go over all the aspects of icebreaker. And then Friday, I might release that Cedar Point video. I haven't decided yet. So I don't know if I want to make the fanboys mad just yet. So we do have a lot of videos coming out this weekend with the winter chill out. So we do have that coming up.
Well, fingers crossed, though. Fingers crossed.
Let me look at that real fast. Let me see what the snow amount is over there. What is that, Sandusky, Ohio?
Yeah.
You think they'd be more used to the snow up there,
Yeah.
but
I think Cedar Point has no plows on site, I think.
they do or they don't.
They do. Well,
Well, looks like
this time. So right now, the last snow is supposed to be Thursday, and then Friday is 25, Saturday 19. So they might help. They might have it cleared, because if it last snowed on Thursday, they have all Friday to get cleared out.
They're calling for snow on Friday now instead.
I'm not seeing that on my phone. So
Well, if it's on Apple's, it's sometimes a little bit behind on that. This is off of the Weather Channel. And they're calling for snow starting at 1 a.m. all the way till 10 p.m. that night. So I don't know. Let me look at this real fast. How many inches are they calling for? It doesn't say yet. That might be the front that they're not saying is going to be that bad, but I don't know.
yeah. But I mean, if it is a powder note, yesterday I did get emails regarding when to chill out and like what to do and where to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's better? Oh, yeah, that's a good question, Sharks fan. So what's better, Fastlane or Flash Pass? Depend. Kings Island, I would say the Fastlane's better.
I mean, I haven't used Flash Pass yet, but
I have. Well, the Flash Pass has different tiers. So if you're doing like the higher tier, it's better because you only have to wait at max maybe 0 minutes to 3 minutes. However, at Kings Island, for the fast lane, there is no wait. At Cedar Point, there is, but at Kings Island, usually you get first priority to board the coaster ahead of everybody else.
yeah. Cedar Point, I've only done Cedar Point's fast lane on a weekday, so I never had long waits for fast lane to like 15 minutes to run. So
we did it on that bad weekend where I think they were promoting the Gold Pass and giving it away for free. So, yeah. But talking about Kings Island, I would say they do it better. Flash Pass is good if the line's managed, but the problem I had at Six Flags Great America was that sometimes there wasn't an attendant there, which caused a lot of issues with other people. So that answers. There you go. I like that comment. I appreciate your attitude about GP, though I think my approach to this activity is enthusiastic. I'm probably closer to GP than full geek. I use the term geek most. Yeah. I'm more of a coaster fanatic, not an enthusiast, because I think Josh. Oh my God. I think Zach is more of the enthusiast. I like history. So I like going into parks with more history, and I like looking at all aspects of the rides, the manufacturer, I like looking at the ins and outs of everything. So for me, my top parks are not, the parks we're talking about. My top park, my top park is probably Universal and Disney, just because I love theming. I love the immersion that you get put into the storylines in them. I see Cedar Fair's trying to start doing that with Orion. They tried theming it a lot better. Six Flags used to do it back in the day, which we actually didn't talk about theming. So if we're talking about theming, it would obviously go by, Kings Island would obviously beat out, Six Flags Great America on that, just because their whole, what is it called? Miami River area is pretty themed pretty well. And then you have area.
That was nice, yeah.
And then Area 72.
It's really good well.
Yeah.
The soundtrack is nice.
Yeah. And they use, what is it? IMA score or whatever it's called.
Because not many parks in the U.S. use the IMA score. That's mainly Europe that uses it.
I'm not going to lie. I kind of got bored of Kings Island. So I think this year I might take a break from it and let them go to Kings Island. If I start getting bored of a park like I do down here in Florida, I take a break from them. Now, Zach, on the other hand, could just go over and over and over again. But I get kind of burned out, and I like going to new parks. So this year, my targets are small parks. Like, I want to go to Waldemere. I want to go to Conduit. I want to go to the Six Flags parks I haven't been to yet. I just want to go to a lot of small parks.
See, my thing is, I just like to visit these parks. I think the best for that I get my money out of it. But especially like Dollywood and Salt Lake City, where I pay $200 for season pass, I want to get my money out of it. So, CNC Fair too, because I bought a fun pass this year. So, I want to probably got to Dorney Park and World of Fun.
Yeah, I'd like to try out Worlds of Fun this year if we get a chance.
Yeah, so my plan is to do St. Louis, Salt Lake City, World of Fun all on a trip together. Because they're all 3 hour department time. Like St. Louis to Branson, 3 hours. Branson Road of Fun, 3 hours. Road of Fun at home, 6 hours.
Be nice if California opens up later this year, but I think I'll probably plan that out next year, because those parks are going to be crazy if they open up. So those people out there are going to be dying to get out. Actually, we have a lot of people from out west coming to Florida. I meet a lot of people that are from California, from Utah, from Washington, from Oregon, because there's nothing to do out there right now. And I don't know. Hopefully we get through this. Hopefully this new strain doesn't cause another shutdown. I don't even know anymore. I'm not trying to think about that. Right now, it's looking like all the parks are planning on opening. However, if you guys notice, like Cedar Fair is kind of doing a shortened schedule. I think it's more so due to they gave a free year away, so they might be cutting the operating schedule a little bit just to save a little bit of money this year, because they're probably going to lose a little bit of money. A little bit. Not so much, but they might lose a little bit this year. I don't know. I don't know. Majority of the people that go to Kings Island, would you say, are pass holders like they are at Six Flags Great America, probably?
Probably. Yeah. He knows how to a lot of pass holders.
Okay. And I'll put this up. You never know. This might be available right away. I never know with StreamYard, to be honest. Sometimes he could, yeah. So I'm trying to think. I like supporting other channels, so that's why I said Drunk Riders and Coasters and Brews. If you guys want to check out something fun this weekend besides Winter Chill Out that we're going to be covering. Starting Thursday, like I said, Drunk Riders is doing a live podcast from, I think, what is the name of that place? They're doing a live podcast on Thursday from a brewery, so if you guys get a chance, check them out. They're a good group of guys. I know we've been both going back and forth messing with each other, but Coasters and Brews and them are doing kind of something called an L Stumble down there. I think it'd be kind of fun if you guys get a chance to check it out. They have a great podcast. Actually, out of all the podcasts, I listen to theirs, just because they have a lot of fun and they go on rants like we do. We're not afraid to go on rants either. Actually, I didn't listen to their podcast till a couple weeks ago. But yeah, we'll listen to your guys' input, and I'll contact GCI, I'll contact Zamperla, I'll contact Gravity Group, SNS, and see who's willing to do a show. Maybe Fun Spot. maybe I could get the owner of Fun Spot on one of our shows, and you guys kind of talk to him since he owns Atlanta, Kissimmee, and Orlando locations, and see what his plans for the future are. I want to hit up a lot of the small parks and talk to them to get them on our show, because I feel like out of all the parks, I feel like the smaller parks deserve the attention that they need to get.
They do.
That are family owned. They take care of them. They take care of their employees. The reason why Fun Spot, Fun Spot got a lot of flack from the public because they stayed open, but he increased a lot of his standards. But his thing was he wanted to keep his employees employed so they weren't being laid off, and he wanted to keep it open for the people to have something to enjoy. Eventually, the city forced them to close for a little while. But I saw a lot of rants over the last summer with, Indiana Beach and Holiday World because they didn't okay, so I could talk about that all in a different show. But if you guys are going to judge different states for what they do, read up on the rules and regulations on what that state is requiring. And if you don't agree with it, then don't go to that park. But don't sit there and bash, people for doing things differently, because Indiana Beach and Holiday World were never connected to any type of outbreaks. No amusement park has ever been connected to an outbreak with the virus last year. And if you look at those parks like Mount Olympus, you look at Holiday World, you look at Indiana Beach, those three places people were having the most fun because those parks were making it a relaxed atmosphere, and people needed that during a pandemic. People needed a place to go to, because I don't know if you guys noticed, but the whole world is going crazy because they're stuck indoors. Me personally, I don't care. I'm an introvert at heart. I like going places, but I don't really care if I'm stuck indoors. But most of the population likes going places. So masks suck, but you get to have fun or not have fun. I'll choose fun and wear a mask over that. So I saw a lot of rants last year, and that's the reason why we lost some support from the coaster community. And I don't really care, because if the state required a mask, I wore it. If they didn't require it, I followed their rules and regulations. But for you to sit there and douse people like Airtime Thrills for following the standards at the park, and now you double mask up, or other pages that decided not to go to parks because maybe they didn't want the backlash from the community, forget that stuff. If you don't agree with the channel you're watching or the people you're watching, then go find another channel to watch. Our channel's not gonna sit here and change the way we do things just to please everybody. So yeah. I just wanted to put that out there. And I think we all need to just have fun this year. So go support your local park. Go have some fun this year. I don't know why I went on a rant about nothing, but I have 7 parks around me, or 11 parks around me if you count all the different lands. And I still enjoy the smaller parks back home and in the Midwest and out west, just because they have a different feeling than those big corporate parks do.
Yeah, that's why I love Soul City for, because it's corporate owned. They have that kind of money, but it also feels really family friendly and family man.
Thanks, Richard. Yeah, I do rants all the time. These guys know.
Oh no, I could go off on Money and Force though. Oh, Money and Force was. I called the wrong name.
If they're going to remove anything at Cedar Point, Rougarou and Iron Dragon. And Gemini could go too.
Yeah, Gemini's fun.
I like Gemini, but it has the space for it. We'll go over that in a different video. But all right, that kind of concludes the show today. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for everybody who joined in for this long 2-hour podcast. View it later. Facebook will be readily available right away. YouTube, you'll have to search if you want to watch it. Like I said, though, I'm going to probably download this and then re-upload it to YouTube, and it'll just be posted. Kings Island versus Six Flags Great America. And then this will be readily available on podcast for later listen. Tune in next week on Roller Coaster Therapy at 8 p.m. Eastern. 7 p.m. Central, normal time, next Tuesday. Thanks again for listening. Have a great one. Bye.